Hi guys, how you going? Sparring DK here, and this is It's 5 o'clock somewhere. We're doing this monthly now, so if you've been waiting for it weekly, I do apologise, but it just seems easier enough with this subscriber count that we have at the moment, the amount of questions we do get in, that it's easier to do a Q&A once a month. So first thing we're going to cover today is the Q&A. I've got a half a dozen questions there to get through, and then I've got a short video. I actually met up with a whole heap of other Perth YouTubers a week or so ago. We went out and played a little bit of mini golf, so just a little bit of a clip there showing you some of that stuff, and at Hillary's boat harbour. And that's about all we've got on the show today. There will be links in the description down below to a whole heap of Perth YouTubers, so go and check them out. See if there's anything that tickles your fancy. But let's get into the Q&A. Okay, so the first question comes from Nidge Plays, and he says, Messi, Ronaldo, or Kone? Well, you probably know who Messi and Ronaldo are. If you don't know who Kone is, you're probably new to the channel and you haven't watched any of the Newport County series. But I'm going to go hands down and say Traore Kone, hands down. Next question comes from Scott McCall. He says, I don't know if you've been following the NHL, but who's going to win the Stanley Cup? And I don't know if you know who they are, but McDavid or Eichel? Well, I have not watched a game of NHL at all, probably ever, and I have no idea who the good teams are, so I can't even comment on that, but let's just hope maybe the Toronto Maple Leafs. Next question comes from Manic Badger, and he says, who or what inspired you to start doing YouTube? The answer to that question is probably Cutsy Gaming. I've always done sort of youth series in the background, never actually brought it to YouTube. Went looking for a bit of assistance to see if anyone was doing, the same style of way I was playing the game at the time, and if I could get any tips, and stumbled across Cutsy Gaming's channel, started watching that, and thought, you know what, I'm going to have a red hot crack at this, and now we are where we are, 1,700 and so subscribers, which I want to say thanks very much for. It's just insane to get to this level so far, and let's hope we can build on into the future. Next question comes from Craig Andrew, and he says, what are your pet hates from the new FIFA, and what would you change already? Okay, here we go. Here's what fucking grinds my gears about FIFA 16. The stupid part where they go to the corner and just fucking hold the ball for the last 10 minutes when it's a draw. I mean, seriously, I can understand if you're at the bottom of the table and 1 point's gonna help you out, but fucking go for the throat, mate. Have a red hot crack and try and win the fucking game. It pisses me off. That's number one. Number two is the preseason tournament. I do a lot of simulating, and you get to the first of the month and of a new season, and you go, right, I'm gonna simulate to the next month, and then all of a sudden the game fucking stops and says, you know what? You need to pick your preseason tournament. Oh, why can't you just skip it? If you don't want to do it, why can't you just skip it? And number three is the mail system. Now, they haven't fixed this for fuck knows how long, but you simulate a month and you've got, 12 to 15 emails in there. I don't want to read any of them. I want to be able to delete all of them, and we'll leave it there. There's probably a lot more there that I want to pick out with the game, but maybe we'll leave them for a future review of FIFA 16. Another question from Craig Andrew, and he says, with the channel going so well, will you introduce any new series before Christmas? At this stage, possibly. I've got a few ideas. I'm testing some series out in the background. I don't want to bring them to the channel if they're just not going to work. But I've got a couple of ideas. I'll possibly do another relegation regen rebuild. I'm just sort of juggling my time at the moment, and once I sort out where I'm at and how much extra time I have to maybe put some extra videos onto the channel. Because what I would rather do is, I've committed to the 3 episodes of Notts County. I've got the NHL series, so that's 4 videos a week already. So I want to make sure that I can guarantee that those 4 videos get up before I look at putting more stuff onto the channel. I did do a bit of stuff earlier in the year where I was putting out 2 videos a day, and it just got crazy, so I've had to strip it back a little bit. If I have time, there's obviously the extra videos just popping up, the world's best players and that sort of thing. But yeah, at this stage, I just want to commit to those 4 videos. Anything extra is a bonus, and I'll reassess monthly to see how much time I've got on my hands and if I can get something else out there. Next question comes from Reese O'Donnell, and he says, will the Whiskey Sours Challenge be coming back? I dare say so. As we move into the warmer summer months, I tend to drink a little bit more after work and on the weekends and that sort of thing, and that sort of opens up the opportunity for a Whiskey Sours adventure. If you haven't watched any of those, they're on the channel. They'll be right down the bottom. I think there's 2 at the moment. And basically, I start playing golf, 18 holes, and I drink along depending on the result of what happens on each hole. And pretty much I'm shit at the golf game, so by the end of it, I'm pretty fucking drunk. Perhaps you should go and check it out. Next question comes from FIFA and F1 King, okay? He says, would you ever play or make a series on Football Manager? The first look I had at Football Manager was this year in 2015. It's very, very complex, very, very time consuming. And with a full-time job and other commitments, I don't really even have enough time to get into Football Manager. And I only really like to play a game if I can get fully involved with it. So it's probably something that I'm not looking at this stage. If the opportunity comes up and I have the time to do something like that, I may look at it in the future. But for now, probably not. Torex Reburn says, what's your favourite flavour of chips? Salt and vinegar, sour cream, or neither? I'd probably have to go with the salt and vinegar, mate. They're fucking good chips. Bama Striker 9 says, what's it like to be the world's worst golf course designer? Now, this is a bit of a chuckle along here. We've been playing a game together, myself, Bama Striker 9, and Cutsy Gaming. It's not on YouTube, but we just play a little bit of golf, and you can create the courses. And yeah, I put out some pretty crazy courses that we try and get around just to for shits and giggles. But yeah, it feels pretty good, Bama. Thanks, mate. Mr. Baxi says, how long does it take you to edit an episode? That really depends on how much action's been involved, the context of what's going on in the episode and that kind of thing. If it's 0-0 draws all the way along, not a lot of action and that, I can probably edit. That's not to say record and render down and all the other shit that's involved with making a video. But just an edit can be anywhere between 20 minutes to an hour, just depending on what is in the actual video. Osian Stanya says, where do you see yourself by 2016? Well, what are we at? We're at the 1st of November, so we've got 8 weeks left of the season, year, whatever you want to call it. So it'd be nice to be at 2,000 subscribers by New Year's, even by Christmas. That would be amazing. I think we've got about 300 odd to go, so it's definitely going to be a challenge. But hopefully you guys rally your supporter behind the channel, tell your friends and family about it, and get them to subscribe and check out the content that I'm bringing, and hopefully they enjoy it as well. Alex May says, what other Youth Academy teams are you using this year? In a series sense, I'm not actually playing any other FIFA other than the Notts County series. A lot of the other time I do spend on FIFA is doing simulating and training and just trying to work out things in the background. I'm doing a lot of work with Bama Striker 9 and Cutsy. We're just trying to break down things, but it's taking a lot longer than it should because there's a lot more variables and stuff out there that we're trying to deal with. So yeah, I'm not actually playing any other games other than the Notts County series. ABAMCA says, what do you make of the Youth Academy system so far in FIFA 16? It's pretty much the same as last year. There's probably more beneficial to be scouting for physically strong players with the new training system and that sort of thing. No May bump, but there is a May bump, which we're still trying to figure out the numbers and the algorithms of it all. But yeah, it seems pretty much similar to last year, so it's fine. LJHD says, what made you choose Notts County for a series out of all of the teams on FIFA? Okay, Notts County were newly relegated to League 2. The way we do a Youth Edition series is we start from League 2, so I thought it was good that there was a new team that I could try and have a crack with. And the fact that Notts County is one of the oldest teams in the world, especially in the Premier League championship sort of football, if that's what you want to call it, just really made me get a sense of, you know what, I want to restore the former glory of this club, and what a better way to do it than with a youth series. And the final question comes from Callum Farrer, and he says, my thoughts on the North's trade period, a success or a failure? Okay, so if you don't already know, I support the North Melbourne Football Club. That's Aussie rules football. They're called the Kangaroos. We've just had the trade period. I think we did all right. We picked up Jed Anderson, which gives us a little bit more outside run. Wasn't too happy about them getting rid of Bastanak. I thought he had a pretty big future, but obviously he wasn't getting the play time. We got rid of Curry in the ruck, which sort of, is a bit tough, relying on Goldstein so much, and especially the fact that we've delisted Majak Dor as well. Really only leaves us one sort of ruckman in reserve in Ben Brown, and I guess Petrie can sort of step in and play a pinch hitting role. But we traded. We've got a couple of low draft picks within the top 30, so hopefully we can pick up some good youngsters and continue building this side towards winning a premiership. So that's going to end the Q&A. Thanks very much for your questions. I really do appreciate you leaving those questions for me, because that really tells me that you're really involved with the channel, and that's where I want you guys to be. I want you to be able to come to the channel, hang out with me, and just enjoy quality content. Now, what else have we got for you today? Well, I've been out with some Perth YouTubers. They have a monthly meetup. I decided to tag along to this one as I had a bit of spare time. We went down to the Hillary's Boat Harbour, which is on the coast. It's about 30 or 40 minutes drive for where I am, and I met up with a few guys and girls, and we played a little bit of mini golf. So I've just put together a little bit of a clip package here. Nothing too crazy, but hopefully you enjoy this. Right, so that was just a little bit of a clip there. You could see a little bit of Hillary's and a little bit of mini golf. Good to catch up with some of the Perth YouTubers that are doing a lot of other things, not really gaming orientated as such, a lot of vloggers and that kind of thing, but feel free to go and check them out. I'll have a whole list of links in the description down below. So if you're that way inclined, want to check out some more crazy people from Perth, go and check them out in the description. But that's all we've got time for you today on It's 5 o'clock somewhere. If you've got some ideas on other things that you'd like to see at the start of next month, maybe we can do some sort of Christmas special. Not too sure, but let me know in the comments, and hopefully you're having a good day. I'm Spying DK. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, and you have a good one.